Good afternoon all. Today in this video, we'll be seeing how to make this component. This is a medium level of exercise. It's a little more complicated than all the videos we have done in the past few days. There are more complicated ones and more easier ones as well. You can go to our channel and check for all different kinds of videos. Welcome to CAD Technologies, and let us begin making this model using CATIA as a CAD tool. Now, since there are three views provided to us, there is one section view. Actually, the section view to understand is cut at this location. I'm trying to move the cursor. It's cut at this location, which goes till there and then cut till the above. That is this shape. Now, the reason why we understand that is we have a countable hole here which is located at this location, and of course a center hole which is cut at this, as well as there are two other holes, one counter bore and a very simple hole at this location, which we can understand from the top view. Now, there is also another one which is a circle which is added over here with a hole of 8 diameter. Now, considering this as the front view, this will be the top view, this will be the right view. We can begin the model from taking the front view and then slowly go on by understanding the other views. So let us begin. Under mechanical design, we are working on a part design only, so I'll be using part design. Now to add material, we know already the commands which we can use. So I'm using a pad and try to give the shape etc. for the same. And the dimensions. We know the overall dimensions which are already provided. This is 134 as you can see, and the width as you is 54. Exit. Now how much to add the material? The addition of material is shown in the top view, which is 22. Now I'd like to do it on both the sides, that is 11 on one and 11 on the other, which is called a symmetrical addition of material or symmetrical extrusions. This is the reason why I am trying to do that is because I have everything located at the center, that is the ribs, the circles, and the symmetry dimensions are located with respect to this center. So to avoid or take a new plane or maintain the dimensions, I'd like to give it on both the sides. Already I have mentioned in a lot of videos, whenever you use mirrored event, the length should be halved, and whenever you have neutral, then the value should be the actual value. It auto calculates the half. Now, uh, we have circles on the top, so we'll go one after the other. We need to cut this shape and add material. So instead, let us add material first and then go to the removing of material part a little later. As you can see, the distance for these extrusion circles are at 27. So if you want to maintain the dimension 27 and you want to make the model, we can use references. It is necessary that we maintain the dimensions because we are working on a feature based modeling. Now, if you're not interested to maintain the dimensions and you do not want to follow this, you can also directly take 27 by 2 and then proceed by taking the plane. But since I want to maintain exact dimensions I have in the drawing, I'd like to take this references and then create a plane parallel to the point. There's a parallel through point option wherein the reference will be this and the parallel will be the point. On this, now I don't have to do anything. I just have to take a circle and then add the material. The circle is of dia 40. Now I have 27 which is supposed to be maintained and I also have 40 which can be maintained. Once I do that, the addition of material can be done easily, which is supposed to be done on this side. But a material should never go inside another material, so we'll just give an end condition and say okay. Now, we can mirror this or you can repeat this. So you can directly use a mirror command, that's a little more easier. That is the advantage of adding the initial body equally on both the sides. Now, I'd like to give these rounds because all these are lying on the rounds. So let's try to take those first. Sometimes it's not important to understand that we have to give rounds as a finishing operation or towards the end of the model. Depending on the modeling techniques, we can change them. From here, we'd like to add the further material. Now, again, since I want to maintain the dimensions, I'd like to take a plane at 44 first to create the main circle. So I'm taking this plane and and creating it at a distance of 44. On this, let us try to add the material. Now, the material is added towards the body as well as 3 on the other side. I can do this in one pad instead of making it multiple times. So under more you have direction 2, you can give that and give 3. So it adds 3 on the opposite side and towards the next, that is 44 on the other side. Once I say OK, you'll be seeing the circle. I can take the front view and also show it to you. This is one side, this is the other side. Now, similarly, we also have another circle which is located at here. So let's try to do that also by taking 36. 36 is typical, that means on both the sides you will be having the same distance. That is, this circle as well as this circle will be having the same 36. So on this 36 or newly created plane, as you can see, let's try to take the sketch. Now, the circle is again tangent to the reference, so I can just take it and maintain tangency with respect to the edge like we have done a few minutes ago. And then the distance is supposed to be mentioned, which is again at 50. Again, they have mentioned 50 typical. That means the other side of the circle is also maintaining 50. Now, I reverse the direction. I'd like to add it up to next. The reason why we're adding it up to next is because this shape should be maintained. If not, you can also give the dimension, but you can see it won't do the same. I can show you with the preview. Whereas if I give up to next, it takes the shape and then gives the addition of material to the immediate next body it can find. Same thing can be done towards the other side. Again, I'd like to take a plane onto the other side, or you can take a reference as well, reverse the direction. On this, I need to make a circle again and take a circle. You can flip the body, no issues, or you can directly do it on this direction as well. And the same distance is supposed to be maintained, that is 50, which is already given as typical. And the addition of material should be done towards the body, as you can see, with up to next as the end condition. Now, there are a few supports provided in the drawing which are thickness of 8. So let's try to make that using a stiffener command. We can directly select stiffener and start making our sketch. So let me find the center plane. Now, while taking our references, I'd like to use this also as a reference, no problem. These two will be my silhouette references and the ends are not actually required. So let me try to make an arc. The arc actually should lie in line with this. That is, these the point as well as the plane should be in line with each other. Now the radius of this is 92, which again they have already mentioned, which is typical, which is supposed to be the same for all the 3 ribs or stiffeners and the 8 mm thickness. Now let's try to make the other side as well using the same stiffener and selecting the center plane. First, let us try to take our references and then proceed. And then the silhouette reference as well. Now, the arc actually is starting from here, which is inline, and then goes till here, as you can see. I'm not trying to maintain tangency or anything, and then I'm trying to give the 92. Now, this particular point should be again in line with this, so I'm trying to coincide that. This should have 8 mm. It is already understood that it is supposed to have 8 mm, and it has taken 8 mm. Same, it has to be done on the bottom side as well. So let me try to make a sketch again at the center. This also is supposed to be done the same way. Let me try to take references first and then proceed with the body and then try to make the arc. That is from here till the end. You can make it till the end or you can take it this location also. There is no problem. There is no tangency at that location, so I'm not taking tangency. It's supposed to be 92, so I'm taking it as 92, as you can see. Exit, this is supposed to be 8. This is again 8. This is your stiffener. Now, continuing with the model, we can start removing the material one after the other. For example, let's try to remove this first and then mirror it. Using a pocket command, again I have everything located at the center, which is my 0, 0, 0. All I need to use are few references to make the sketch. Now, since it's 22, let me try to take an arc first over here, and this located at the center. I am sorry, it's in a construction manner. Now, let me try to take these and then close it directly in line with this and this. Let us maintain tangency, maintain all the dimensions provided to us as per the drawing. Okay, let me try to delete this and then take an arc or else. Located at the center, this is my starting point as well as the end point. Now I can maintain tangency, and then let us try to give the overall distance, which is 45. It is typical, that means it's the same on both the sides. So from here to here is supposed to be 45, and the arc, whatever they have mentioned, overall is 22. So let me try to take this as 22 and then try to cut the material. This is up to the next. Now we can of course mirror this feature. So let's try to mirror this feature. Pocket, I'd like to mirror it onto the other side and say okay, this is the mirrored copy. There is one other pad for some reason. Okay, let me try to delete this. This is not helpful for us. Now we have holes which are provided us to in the drawing. So let's try to begin with a simpler one, which is 25 through. We can directly use a hole command, select the center and then start giving a constraints. Now without constraints we cannot make this model. If you change the center or make any changes, the model tends to fail. So we can directly give it, or you can provide some other constraints which are, we just cannot leave it directly like that. Now the other one is a counter bore which is located at this location over here. So let's try to take the hole. Now let me try to give a type which is counter bore. Under type, we know that counter bore is of 8 dia. Counter bore is of 8 dia and it has a certain depth which is 6. Sorry, let me try to change this. This is supposed to be 6 through. This is the 6 through. And again type counter bore is supposed to be 8 with depth as 6. Okay, now under the sketch, I'd like to give the positioning. Again, this positioning is important because this is in line with this 0, 0. So the dimensions, if you change, the hole also should auto update. This is the hole. Similarly, there is also another one over here, which is the same counter bore type from the top. Let me try to give the dimensions first and then try to change the values, parameters. Inner is 8 through, so I am trying to take this as 8 and then type, which is counter bore. Diameter is 10.5 and depth is 19. Again I am saying okay, this is their counter bore. There is also another hole at the same location which is 16.5 with depth of 11. So you can use the same face, give the same constraining and then try to give the 16.5 as your diameter. This is 16.5. It's not up to next, it's actually blind. Let me try it to normal hole. 16.5 and up to we have a distance which is 11. This is your 11 hole. Other one is there which is a very simple 8 dia. So let's try to give 8 dia the center and select, give concentricity, give this as 8 dia up to the next. This is your feature. Let me go back to the isometric view. This is the model of how we have made a 3D model out of a simple 2D drawing. If you want to learn more complex videos or complex models, you can subscribe to our channel. But if you want to take a different advanced level of training with us, you can contact us. Our details are given in the description below. Thank you.